Going.
Okay.
Where are we going?
So we're recording episode 4319. This is the Optimal Human Health Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Optimal Human Health Podcast. This is Coach Jake.
Jake's back.
And Coach Josh. Yeah, we're back. We're actually doing it this week. So we got Coach Josh back there. We got Roseanne over there. For those of you
Hola, senoritas.
who can't see, I'm pointing because we're doing this live on YouTube Live. So if you guys want to go back and watch it and see what we look like, so you can have a name to the face or a face to the name kind of thing.
You can see my ugly mug.
As you guys can see, we're horribly, horribly disfigured and ugly. So hope you watch the live stream. What's going on, guys?
And welcome back.
Oh, you know.
You.
We missed you, and this is why we didn't do our podcast.
We missed your introduction voice. It's just not the same without you. Hello, and I'm Jake. Here to do whatever.
Brian did a pretty good job of that last time. When you guys recorded when I wasn't here, or when I was in the middle of coaching class.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
Brian was good. He was a good little host.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, Roseanne, what are we talking about today?
We're gonna talk about a
valley girl,
binge eating, and maybe some sabotage.
Sabotage. I can't even
Sabotage.
Saboteur.
Okay, so what exactly is binge eating?
Yeah, Roseanne.
Well, I would say binge eating is probably overeating at a certain amount of food in a really short amount of time, and maybe emotions are involved.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a specific amount of food involved. It is overeating, even going past the capacity of feeling full. You keep eating. Yeah,
you're taking on way too much in a short amount of time.
Yes, calorie overload.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, why would somebody do that?
Well, I think people do it for many reasons. Like maybe this food is amazing and it just tastes great, even though you're full, and you just, or if you're like my kids and it's there as a leftover, and you think, if I don't eat this, somebody else will, so they will eat it.
Survival.
Or just out of emotion, like whether you're stressed or sad or bored,
happy,
maybe happy.
So,
sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that can lead into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think were either of you guys when you were growing up, were you part of the Clean Your Plate Club? Was that part of your?
No.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That stems from the Depression. Do you know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So people didn't have enough money to eat food, so they would eat what they had, and
that makes a lot of sense too.
Forceful eating, so they didn't waste.
Our family was a bunch of farmers and things. So
I think I was a part of that, but I wasn't. It's hard to say. I don't remember very well.
So basically, all it is if you're in a house with more than 4 people, you have to eat, and you have to eat all your food, and you have to eat really, really fast if you want seconds. So if you want to eat seconds, you have to eat really quickly. Otherwise, everybody else is going to go up and beat you, and they're going to eat all your food.
I don't think I ever had that issue. I think it was maybe I was forced to eat stuff I didn't like. That I had to do, vegetables, but I never really had an issue with eating.
Yeah.
So I think some people take on like maybe these binge, what do you call them? Traits that maybe they're learned behaviors.
Oh yeah.
What they've learned from their parents. You know, they've seen their mom or their dad be sad and then just go to town on a carton of ice cream or whatever. Okay. And it's just coping mechanism, maybe just poor eating habits in general.
So if you get really sad and depressed, what's the first thing you do?
I need a tub of ice cream. I'm going to eat the whole thing.
I've actually never been that person. But I can see.
What about the extreme opposite of that? I just won my first Little League game. Let's all go out for pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't leave any slices behind.
Mm-hmm. Josh's biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, I hate that.
Celebrating with food.
Not celebrating with food, but celebrating with shitty food.
Okay, with shitty food.
Yeah.
That's.
So if it's a good ice cream, that's okay.
I think
So food to me.
So that's a funny story because I was really good with nutrition up until our meet last weekend, And even after I finished, I had a beer, but then I was like, I'm really hungry and I want to like eat because it's just like a habit. Like you cut, or you try and eat healthy up to the meat, and then you're like, oh, cool, I did great. I'm gonna blow it out.
I deserve this,
right? So, but even now, I think maybe it's like a just kind of getting older thing or maturity thing. You don't want to waste your
hard work,
your basically your meal or your cheat meal on shitty food. So I was at Blue Moon and I'm like, they don't really have good food here. I haven't seen anything good that I want.
Yeah.
So I fucking left and I went and I got sushi and I'm like,
fuck yeah, that's a good cheat
exactly.
meal.
So
tacos,
quality
sushi.
Yeah, no sense in taking on food that you're like, it's mediocre just because it's food. You might as well go get the good stuff or wait.
Yeah. And for me, it's changed, right? So like if I'm gonna cheat, like I'm gonna make a good quality cheat meal, right?
Yeah.
I don't enjoy fast food. I don't enjoy going to restaurants and getting like even their steaks and stuff like aren't cooked to what I want.
You want to cook your own.
So if I'm gonna do a cheat meal, it's either gonna be sushi or some good fucking street tacos. Yeah. So and you know, looking at that, that's still pretty good quality food considering the other options comparatively, right?
Yeah.
So
but if you're one of those people that are an emotional eater, again, you're stressed, or sad or whatever, and you just kind of go to the cupboard and you're great. Or maybe for some people, for women, you know, that time of the month, and I've seen it in my house a number of times, you're grazing through the fridge and the pantry trying to figure out what it is you want that's going to satisfy you. Oh my God. It's just been horrible. That has happened to me, and it's definitely happened to my girls, but you're like just trying everything under the sun. What is it that I want to satisfy whatever it is? But yeah, I think it happens to people, and I think we need to try to educate and give some recommendations of some tools to use to, you know, not give into these really bad binges.
Feelings, it's what it comes.
Because for some people, you know, they might just have an episode where it's one night or a moment, and they go to town, like you said, to have excessive calories, and then they can get back on track the next meal. Mm-hmm. And for others, it turns into a couple of days or a week or whatever, and they're just like, I freaking can't stop.
And as you talk,
it gets scary.
Yeah, as you talk, I think about how I used to be, and these are triggering my memories now. I haven't done it in a long time, and it's probably because of this meal plan, or I've kind of rewired my brain. But it used to be like I would go grocery shopping and I'd get like these little treats that I really enjoyed, whatever it may be, like Cheez-Its or whatever. And if I had like a trigger where I got super hungry and I hadn't eaten enough, I would just go to town and eat the shit out of everything. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't stop until, you know, like I got too full or it hurt or whatever. And even I remember being in Afghanistan in 2015, we would get these huge shipments that came in with a whole bunch of treats and cookies and crackers and all kinds of stuff. And I remember like I would be so hungry from working out or doing whatever I had to during the day that I would go into our like little rest area or whatever, lobbies or whatever, where all this food would be. And I would just binge eat everything I could grab my hands on. And it was just a ton of food. Like it was never ending. Like we would always get boxes of food coming in, mm-hmm. like Cheez-Its and crackers and whatever. And I would literally, like I said before, I love the sensation of my cheeks full. Yeah. Right. When I eat. So I just constantly keep shoving food in my mouth. I remember people used to just sit there and watch me go to town. Like it was like a comic or a comical thing that I would do. But I would like seriously would be that hungry and I wouldn't stop eating until I had like that full sensation.
Yeah, I seriously think just what you just said there, I think a lot of people, if it's there, like if it's in your house, that's what you want to do, is you're going to want to go until it's gone.
Exactly.
And that's why us as nutrition coaches will, you know, recommend you do kind of a kitchen sweep and clean out your pantry and your fridge and your freezer with all stuff that's going to tempt you like that you can't monitor yourself and say, okay, I'm going to have a single serving. But it's either all or nothing. And that's, because that's where it goes bad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When was the last time you did it, Jake?
Did binge eating? Last night.
We just talked about this.
We just talked about this. Yeah, my God, it was Sour Patch Kids. That's what it was.
Oh, but you only had one bag.
I only but still a bag.
The Costco
one bag.
Yeah. Shitting your brains out today.
I don't fucking. So it's funny because you go into like At least I do. We all have like a defense mechanism. Everybody does it. Like it's a rationalization thing where if you're doing something, your brain will try and get to the point where logically, you rationalize why you're doing what you're doing. So that way you don't feel terrible about what you're doing, right? You don't feel like shame or something like that. So my running narrative in my head last night was, those look really good. I had a really hard workout today. I did a lot of cleans. I'm kind of hungry for carbs, so I feel like I'm gonna go with that. I'm like, if I just do one thing, that whole bag. That's all I gotta do. Yeah, I felt like shit afterward.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that sugar high and then that sugar crash.
I think the interesting thing is too, what can lead to some binging is just different factors that lead to it. I would say boredom would be one of them. Stress would be another one, and all of those can be related back to sleep. There was a study that showed. They had 2 different sets of people stay in a hotel. They had one group get a full 8 hours of sleep a night. And then a second group got less than 5 or 4 or something like that. I can't remember. I'm probably butchering it right now, but they did that. And then what they did is when they went down and they gave them a free buffet, during the middle, when the buffet was already set up, those people that had like the 8 hours of sleep, the experimenters rolled in a cart of like desserts and treats and things. And the 4-hour group, the group that got less sleep, consumed on average 200 to 300 calories more.
Jesus,
just because they were lacking sleep. So I think there's something about.
I believe that to be true.
Yeah,
I've fallen into that boredom category. Like if I can't find something to do, and there's food around, I'm gonna eat the fuck out of some food.
Yeah. It's weird how we have to be constantly stimulated.
Yeah, I'm
like that too.
I hate that feeling. Like if I get anxious if I'm bored and I don't have anything going on. I sit there and I try to fight to find for something to do. So now it's better with. I don't do it so much with food anymore, but it's just like
we've got one viewer. For those of you looking at the live stream, we have one viewer on the live stream.
Who is that?
I have no idea. If you'd like to identify yourself, go ahead and type in the comments on the right-hand side. Maybe we can answer a question for you while we're on the AMA. Today's topic is, sorry, it's not AMA, it's a podcast, but today's topic is about binge eating and what can cause it
and other bad habits,
other things.
Yeah, I think for like for me, I'd say I'm more of a binge eater if something tastes good, like in a meal.
Yeah.
But I'm not one to like. I'm super lazy in the sense of like, oh, I love hot tamales, but I'm like, oh, those sound really good. I should go grab some. I'd never get in my car and go get.
Have you gotten them from the? there's that car that parks up on the road up here on 120th. Have you ever gone there to get your tamales? Brian says they're really good.
They're fucking sugar hot tamales. What the fuck are you talking about?
Really?
Not tamales.
Oh, you mean like the candy thing?
Oh, I was under the same assumption.
No, I'm talking about
man, your Mexicanness is really coming out right now.
I'm talking sugar hot tamales.
So hold on. So
the candy.
So you were.
Oh my god!
When you were younger, did you guys have like some of the local gas stations have like Mexican candy now?
Oh yeah.
It's basically just sweet stuff covered in chili powder.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Powder. Yep.
Yeah.
What is that stuff called? Shoot.
I don't remember the names.
I should have been prepared.
Yeah. I ate quite a bit of it when I was in Mexico.
It starts with a C. So I'm not one to go out of the way to go grab something to binge on. But I mean, I don't know. Like I was binging on pickles last night after I dropped my pickle jar. So.
Yeah,
I had to eat them, right?
I made extra Amish oatmeal.
Oh yeah, I picked them up off my floor because my cleaning
oatmeal.
lady had just had cleaned my floor.
I make them into like little bars now.
Oh,
for my breakfast, right?
You bake them?
Yeah, bake them.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, if I can remember off the top of my head, since I made them so many times, it's like a cup of old-fashioned oats, a cup of quick oats, and then like agave, salt, vanilla, a whole bunch of eggs, like one whole egg, and then maybe like 5 or 6 egg whites worth of added eggs, a little bit of almond milk, and maybe 1 or 2 other things. But you mix it all up and throw it on a pan. Oh, butter's in there. You throw it on a pan, and then you bake it, right?
Yeah.
And then when it gets out of the oven on this flat sheet, I cut them up into little squares so I can just eat them on my way to school.
Cool.
That's a great idea.
But I tend to make extras because there are some nights where like I'm a little extra hungry.
You eat that.
So I eat that.
Yeah.
But that's like I plan for that, right? So I make sure I have enough to satisfy in those moments, but I never go beyond. And then everything else I have meal prep, so I don't have a lot of extra food. to do that with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I've navigated those waters.
Yeah.
For me, it's terrible. It's like a snowball effect. It's like oh, that looks really good. I'll have that. Oh, that looks really good. I'll have that.
Yeah.
But do you have like triggers, like for you, like you told me once before, like when you go to movies.
Oh yeah. No, seriously.
Popcorn, yeah.
Yeah, because that was always the
The biggest bag. Too.
It was always something we did. Yeah, it's funny because it's like the biggest bag, and then when you start, you get in there, and if you get there early and you watch the previews, it's gone by the time.
Well, you get free refills.
Well, yeah, so it's gone by the time the movie starts, and then you can either go out and get more, or just sit there because you ate the whole bag already, and you're like, wow.
That's right there is what I call mindless eating, because you can eat and you're not even thinking about it.
And
it's
you're
like,
bored before the movie starts.
Oh
you
my
got food in
God.
front of you.
Right.
Like it's everything we just talked about.
and you're not even sitting there going, "This is amazing."
Yeah, you're just like
sitting there talking and just Cookie Monster.
This is a little off topic, but there is a trick. So you can put popcorn,
butter oil,
butter in the middle.
soybean oil.
Well, exactly. It's terrible. And then they put it on top, and then you can even go a step further and try the straw trick, where you put like a straw in the center of the popcorn, and then you aim the butter down to the bottom of the bag. So that
holy
way
shit! I never thought about
this
that.
is like next level.
Wow.
I was a fucking fat
Kid. Ate first because
I
I'm
know.
not.
Consider my sucker.
Yeah, you're the one
this is bringing back memories. So what good? But I went the other route where I just did the
like
marshmallow
true next
fluff,
levels.
and then I went with extra cheese. That was fucking delicious
Oh my God.
because it's like salty.
It's like all the
fatty.
sensations.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Sweet, same time. Yeah. So don't do that.
Here's
For those of you
missing
listening
that
home and
meat.
watching, don't do that.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. If you talk to weightlifters, you can find out some ways to get fat.
Ugh.
Just,
Well, it's funny, like you said, like kind of like you deserved those Sour Patch Kids because you cleaned really hard.
I didn't. I definitely
nev-
didn't deserve it.
Oh,
I was kind of like, oh, I had a really hard workout. I need this, so I feel good.
I
Tomorrow.
never feel like that. I never like,
No.
oh, this was such a hard workout. I should eat more. I'm always just like, I want more.
Then you don't work out hard enough.
I know
I'm
that's
kidding.
probably true because Jake will tell you that, and
So will I.
Brian will probably tell you that. Oh, and then you. Okay.
Yep.
Fuck all y'all.
That's why we put pressure on your planks with your weights.
I know you just sit there on top of me.
Whoa.
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 Yeah. I meant you put a weight on me and then you sit on me.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That doesn't sound any better. There's no good way to say this.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm planking.
Whoa.
You put a weight.
Whoa.
Plank, like the internet sensation. Planking.
Planking.
All right. So
What other issues?
wait. We gotta come up with some solutions here, though.
Oh, you want to do solutions now? As
If you're gonna change the subject.
Yeah, well, I think we've kind of touched on it a little bit. So one way I've done it is just to take all the crap out of my area of living,
Area.
kitchen,
Area.
fridge. I don't have a lot of junk. I don't have any junk food actually after I've been on this meal plan. But you just take out those options. That's one way to do it, right?
I feel like too, if you're eating regularly.
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 If you're eating often, then you're probably less likely to do that kind of stuff.
I would agree to an extent.
To an extent, of course, there's always the truth.
Yeah, the emotional or stress.
Yes, and maybe limit your snacking or put your snacking in with your meal planning,
Mhm.
so you're not like
Plan for it. Yeah, planning. I do that too. Plan for it.
okay. Get some support from
Who?
your nutrition coach.
Or if you don't have a nutrition coach,
You go talk to one.
you go find us.
You go find us.
Yeah.
We can be of great help
And services.
Service. Yeah. I mean, especially if you don't feel like you have the support amongst your friends or family because they kind of are sabotaging you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. What
yeah.
a piece of cake's not going to kill you.
Yeah,
Come
how
on,
do you
another
deal with that
drink's not
peer
gonna
pressure?
Kill you.
That's so for that type of peer pressure, I would say kind of plan for that. So if you know something like that's going to happen, you can definitely plan out for those situations. Like I'm
What,
going
you
to
mean, like a
satisfy.
party or something.
Yeah,
like
like a birthday party, or like today at work we're going to celebrate this and we're going to have cake. So maybe I allot some calories for one slice of cake, which appeases everybody around me so I don't get peer pressured, but I also get that satisfaction of having that little bit of sugar.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you limit yourself.
Yeah,
or just
things of that nature.
Yeah. What did they do in the office when they had to do their challenge?
Everything.
So every time we talk about, so that episode is so relevant to the nutrition program. It's so funny.
I'm doing a lemon cayenne pepper water cleanse.
Oh yeah.
So they were all trying to like load up as much as get as fat as they could before the weigh-in. So that way they had further to lose. So they were like eating they had like a cheese fountain and a bunch of stuff, and then Dwight ends up ruining it by covering it in like ant spray.
That's awesome.
But
eat as much as you can now.
Yeah. This will be your last meal. Yeah, it was funny because every time I think about cleanses, I think about Kelly. She's at her back desk, and then Holly's like, "Are you okay? Leave me alone." And she's like squeezing lemon into a jug. It's then she passes out. Yes,
I was just gonna say she passed out.
They're all on the scale. Who did they kick off? What was her? Jim's wife.
Pam.
Yeah, Pam was on the scale, and she's like not participating.
Oh yeah, because she was going to New York for her thing.
Yeah. So like, Pam, get off the scale. and when she was on the scale, like they could see exactly how much she weighed when she got off the scale. No. She got super embarrassed. Where are you hiding all that weight?
Was she pregnant?
No, not at that time.
That
was before they were married.
Oh,
that was like season 5,
something like that. Yeah,
4 or 5 or something.
So what else? Anyway,
those are the main things that come to mind to help satisfy those situations.
And people say this all the time, like drink water. Like if you feel like you have the urge to like drink water, or
always
go for
water.
a 10-minute walk.
Yeah. Drink water, 10-minute walk. Yeah.
Write in a journal.
Yeah. Find something to do.
Describe out what it is you're going to eat, how it's going to taste, what it's going to feel like. Is it going to satisfy you, or is it going to make you feel sick?
Get closer to your microphone.
Yeah, those are good ones.
I think it's a lot of it has to do with triggering things too. So what triggers you to actually do that?
A bad day at work.
A bad day at work.
Emotional breakup.
A
argument
win,
with your significant other.
At a championship game where you go get pizza and ice cream with everybody.
Just one. Or the reverse of that. We just lost our last game. Let's go sulk in some greasy ass pizza.
Or we just lost our job.
Let's go have a beer and get shit faced.
Yeah. That's a good solution.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you're eating consistently throughout the day and you're getting enough, like your numbers are on, it shouldn't be that much of an issue when you get to the end of the day because you're already full.
Yeah. Satisfy those needs. What are you doing?
My thing's undone.
I feel like you've been playing with your belly button.
Rosanna's slowly undressing behind our half wall. You guys can't see it in the live stream either because she's covered up.
My hands. It's kind of cold. Feel my hands are cold.
Your hands
cold.
are.
You turned off the heat in here because it's been like 75 degrees out.
Well, I'm just
Speaking of which, the Rockies home openers today.
Yes.
Too bad we can't go.
We're gonna pick another day. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
maybe we should do our next YouTube podcast at a game. And what do you do at special events?
Eat and drink at a Rockies game.
That's a great idea.
Eat beforehand.
Yeah, but that's a long game, so you got to take some snacks.
Do you do the tailgating in the parking lot beforehand, or do you skip it? Really, honestly, well, they still do.
I don't know. Do you tailgate at a baseball game?
You can. We did.
I think so.
I've done it before.
You do barbecues at a baseball game.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Barbecue and drink.
I guess that's tailgating, though, right? Yep.
Then when you get to the game, you can't pay attention to what's going on because you're too far gone already.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting in the seat, hot and drunk and uncomfortable. That's
the last Rockies game I went to. I did it without drinking. It was kind of boring.
I did minimal drinking.
True.
So you can get the tall lemonades, or you can get the diet lemonades.
Yeah.
And then you take in a shooter of vodka.
Do you get the big
How did you get
version?
that through security? Did you?
Okay. Well,
they're plastic. And she sticks them in a bra.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or down your pants or something.
Yeah.
They're not going to frisk you like that.
They don't have metal caps on them anymore.
So on that note,
and then you go in the bathroom and then and then you.
Oh,
Why do you do it in the bathroom?
you could do it.
I don't know.
You could do it at your seat. No one's
Yeah,
gonna,
but what if you have that one person that's
oh, they're
super
gonna
annoyed?
tattle on you.
Yeah, but they're not going to
Stitches
prove
get
it. All you got to do
stitches.
is throw it away and walk off.
Just threaten them.
Yeah.
Like,
Do it in the bathroom, and
look
then
at 'em.
You
you
didn't
can
see
drink
nothing.
your lemonade.
You didn't see nothing.
You didn't see nothing.
Vodka.
Or you share.
Anyway.
You share.
Or you
When in
share.
doubt, share.
I
When
don't
in
know.
doubt, sure.
Somebody gave me that little tip. I'm like, that's a great idea because beer is
that-
expensive
You
and
wanna
beer
know
is
what-
filling.
You want to know what we used to do as military folk? Hopefully, this doesn't give us a bad rap. But when we would travel, we couldn't have alcohol with us. So we used to take like a hot needle and poke the bottom of a plastic water bottle, right? So it melts a little hole and you squeeze all the water out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the alcohol into that water, into that hole, fill it up. It's a slow process. Like with a little funnel. And you fill that whole thing up with like vodka or whatever. So now you have, and then you melt the bottom again. So it looks like it's never opened.
Oh.
And that's how we used to transport alcohol around when we weren't allowed to.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you
Hmm.
couldn't have an opened
Yeah.
container. Type
So
thing?
if the seal isn't broken, they think it's water inside. There's no way to know. So that's what we used to do.
Why does it smell like mint schnapps?
Or we
Wow,
used,
that's
or
a
we used to fill up our
process.
camel packs, our bladders, the bladders that are inside with alcohol too. Those
Damn.
were
so you have access to alcohol. You just
those
couldn't
were rough
carry
days.
it.
Yeah, they were fun, but yeah.
Why are you drunk?
You get pretty creative when you're downrange, and then hopefully you can handle your alcohol so you don't get in trouble. But yeah, we used to do crazy shit like that.
There's that. Yeah.
Yeah. You okay over there? You got like the 1,000-yard stare going on.
Tired. It's because I'm hungry,
We've been talking about food the whole
and
time.
it's a good thing we don't have like
Slaying.
vending machine.
We've
I don't
got
know.
Dino's next door.
Slavery.
You can go get some breakfast. They're really good, by the way, but not something
No, I
you should
can't
do every
have
day.
it.
I have an
can't
RX bar in my truck.
I can't have that.
Oh,
If
I
it's got
tried their
egg or nuts.
I tried their peanut butter. It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah,
Those are good bars in a pinch, though,
Yeah.
man.
They
I
are.
always tell my people that.
Back on topic.
Okay,
Yes,
back on topic.
binge eating. It's
Yeah.
the plague that's making us all
So we have
fat.
some ideas on how to navigate those rough waters. What other issues may somebody have?
Again, I
Um,
think the
is-
sabotaging of when people aren't supporting you,
What's your list
or
say?
they questioning you.
What do you have written down over there?
This is about the binge eating.
Oh, is that the only one you came up with?
Yeah. But the sabotage
Sabotage?
I think
like
that's-
self or
of other
outside.
people, outsiders, people who aren't on board with what you're doing.
Yeah, that criticize your
They
every
criticize
waking
you,
move.
or they'll sit there and tell you, "You're not fat. Why are you? Why are you doing
do
this?"
you think that self-conscious issues with that other person where they feel like they already feel shitty for eating it
And
and they want company? Company
Yes.
loves misery.
It's,
Yes.
it's
So they make you feel bad because they feel bad.
it's projection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want to see you succeed.
Right, because they're not succeeding.
So with
Psychology
people,
right now.
with people that are
It
coming, with
is.
people that are visiting the facility for the first time, and they're making a huge life change with their fitness and their nutrition, all those things. A lot of them, I mean, when we're well past this now because we've been doing it for a long time, but you're gonna find that there's a change in your group of friends, and you have that. And if somebody succeeds, they usually go through a break off with their old group of friends where they used to spend a lot of time with them, drinking, hanging out, eating a lot of food, barbecuing, things like that. And then there'll be kind of transition period where they don't really have anybody, and then they find new friends in their gym. And that's kind of like, it's a process that everyone has to go through. It's really shitty, but sometimes people don't make it out of that because that group is so important to them. So it's kind of, you're weighing your priorities when you start. Yeah.
So an example of this is we had a presenter in one of our classes. She was an older student that took the class that I'm in before, and she came in and presented about her own struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And she grew up in the South, and her family ate very poorly. They weren't very rich, so they definitely had lower quality of food so they could access. And as she
Crisco.
grew up, she grew
Crisco.
like, I think well over 300 pounds or something at that
Mhm.
time. And when she started to make dietary changes, her family really gave her a hard time, like
Yeah.
to the extent like, you're not fat, you're just big boned sort of thing, and they just perpetuated the cycle.
not true.
That's literally what they told her.
Yeah.
And she had to cut her family off. And then she moved here to Colorado.
Yeah.
And when she got here, I think she went to Johnson and Wales for culinary stuff. So she was big into food, right?
Yeah.
And the group of friends she had, of course, encouraged her to eat and try different foods and develop her flavor palette, as they do there. And that was another struggle for her. So as she was there, she learned about nutrition, and she got her weight under control because there was some health issues she was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And as she progressed through this whole cycle of knowledge and gaining the information, she literally had to separate herself from the core group of friends she had here in Colorado, her support group that she thought it was her support group, and basically separate herself from all that as well and just start over brand new by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a shame.
she was strong enough and conscious enough to see what was happening with her to move on. But yeah, it's things like that. You really have to see what's going on, either with family or friends. Like you have to make those tough choices.
Yeah,
and you'll find out really who your real friends are when you do something like this, when you make a huge change like that, because they're going to support you no matter what. And you'll see the people that aren't really your friends or are, in quotation marks, your friends kind of fall off just because they're not really your friends. They're not supporting you in your endeavor.
And and off that, I think if you can be strong enough to say, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, and every time you get ridiculed or whatever, after a while, they'll stop. They'll quit. Because they're like, oh, she's serious or he's serious about this. They're really doing this for their health. You know what? They're not going to, oh, you can't have that. So, should we meet somewhere else or whatever? I mean, they'll be a little more accommodating, but I think it's got to take time. Maybe 3-6 months, maybe a year. And they're like, wow, this is really what they're doing. This is legit.
Yeah.
But you got to hold strong to what you want to do and what you believe in.
And this goes to like what type of people they are, because some people could actually see that change and want to help you progress. Or you might have that other type of person where you might have to separate because they find it a challenge to get you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So to get you to break sort of thing. So that's, definitely understanding the environment that you're in.
Yeah. And then finding out who your true friends are that have been supportive, or at least don't give you shit about it anymore.
Yeah. That's how I feel about drinking right now.
That's also how I feel about it too.
Yeah.
Like, I would prefer, it's great to have friends and have drinks with friends, but at the same time, if I'm like trying to be healthier and I'm trying to eat healthy and just be healthy in general, a night of drinking is not going to make me feel good. And it's honestly not worth it for me at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still on this no alcohol kick. It's
you've
well
been
over
no
2 months.
alcohol.
Yeah.
I did no alcohol for about 7 weeks, and then and I don't think I was a big drinker before, but now I do probably 1 to maybe 2 drinks a week.
Mm-hmm.
Where before it'd be like, and now I'm worried because my husband is home and we might drink. He might want to drink more, but I won't fall in. I won't. What are you doing to my mic?
He's touching your mic. And now you got
Is this good?
Nose run on it.
You don't know what's been on.
But anyway, so yeah, I definitely drink less than I used to. I mean, like if we would go out with friends, I can put away some alcohol. Like I'd probably have 3 or 4 drinks, and now I do maybe 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
binge drinking
it doesn't matter. I don't need it.
I think everybody. Well, it's on the topic of binging on that.
It's the same
sure.
thing.
Binging on alcohol is no different.
It's something that seems like everybody goes through.
And it's a poison. Like even wines now, they've debunked that myth that red wine's good for you. Out of the 3 alcohols, right?
That'll change in 5 years.
Yeah, red wine might be like the best out of the 3 evils, but it's all poison. You can get the same benefits of red wine that they talk about from cranberry juice, things of that nature.
Pure cranberry juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So there's no benefits to alcohol whatsoever. Like it's not a health thing. It's not good for your heart. It's a poison. Like and that's kind of where my thought process has gone to it. Like when you ingest it, that's the first thing your body processes to get it out of your system. Mm-hmm. So everything else that's going on in your body kind of gets put off to the wayside. Hence why people gain weight while they're drinking. Yeah. Because their body is so efficient at burning the alcohol first that everything else gets stored as fat because your body has to get rid of that poison.
That was a good point. Yeah. That's a great point to put out
So
there.
that's how I look at alcohol now. And while I'm on a meal plan and I have my goals, alcohol only hinders my process.
Right.
And it doesn't make me feel good. I don't enjoy it. At a certain point, I would have fooled myself, and then I say I enjoy the taste, but I really don't. Like I enjoy like discovering the flavor palettes of whiskey and stuff like that. That's fun. But I don't look forward to getting shit faced.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy like downing a whole bunch of beer.
Yeah. I think he made a good point because on binge drinking, I mean, we talk a lot about binge eating, and binge drinking tends to be more for kids in college, maybe high school, but I have some friends that still really drink,
and I don't understand
really drink, like it's their weekly thing.
When we did the charity, we did the fundraising golf event for the football team, Erie Tigers. We work with. Dude, we were partnered up with some people that were putting down like one beer a hole,
every hole,
which is like insane. And I'm like, and the weird part is, I think there's also like the social pressure as well that comes with that. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna try and keep up. Not a good idea. My golf game is bad enough as it is.
But that's why they drink, is because their golf game sucks.
You hit it in the trees, you don't care anymore.
Lose all ambition to try.
Seriously, there's people that are in their 40s and 50s that still do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't care if people drink or not.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own free will to choose so.
Yeah.
What I don't like is when they put their thoughts and feelings and pressure me into doing it when I don't really want to. I don't pressure them not to drink. Yeah. Like I'll come out and socialize with other people, but there are a few times when people like push it a little too far and it just gets annoying.
The other thing
I agree with
that's not good too, and that I don't like is when they use it or they don't. It's weird. So if you ask them like, what have you been eating? Why are you not losing any weight? Your body composition hasn't changed. And then you slowly start working your way through it. And they're like, well, I have a few drinks every night before I go to bed or these things. So and they just kind of like, they know that it's not good for them and they know that it's not helping them at all, but they still do it. Mm-hmm. And you can tell them till you're blue in the face that it's not helping them, but they're going to continue to do it anyway.
As nutrition coaches, we tend to get, a lot of times where people are like, I can't give up whatever, my nightly wine. And, it's like, okay, if you're doing this every night of the week, then let's try to cut it down to,
I can't give up
2 or
my
3 nights
wine.
a week,
What was life like before that? And you realize that you are becoming dependent on something that's not something you need to survive.
No, it's probably really messing up your sleep.
But we say that
in the next couple hours.
Yeah. And we say that to people, but some people just don't notice it.
They don't want it. They don't
want to admit.
They really feel like they're going to be missing out. Like I'm half Italian, half Mexican. So we've got some great food in my family, half. And I'll get people I talk to, not necessarily clients, but they're like, oh, I can never give up my pasta. I'm Italian. I'm like, yes, you can. Like, don't tell me
you can do anything you want. You just don't want to.
You just don't want to. Again, because it's that feel good food, and
it totally is. And
it tastes amazing.
If you had it when you were a child and you remember happy times while eating that, essentially. So that's another thing too. That's why people binge, is because they've connected
emotional
food with an emotional experience, and they believe that if they eat it again, they're going to experience the same emotional high. It's not necessarily the case.
It's just like
it is momentarily.
This might be extreme, but it's just like somebody doing heroin. They're just getting that next high. It comes down to, and I bring this up because the first time you heroin, and I haven't heroin. And this is what I hear. I've never tried it, of course. But it's like once you do it once, the only reason you keep doing it is because you're chasing that first high, that first feeling, right? That's why those guys are constantly doing it, because they will never have that same sensation as the first time. Mm-hmm. That's why when they go to rehab and they crave it again and they do it and overdose and die, it's because they think they still have that same high tolerance as before, right? Yeah. And they think that once they do it again, they'll get that first initial feeling of when they did it. So, yeah. So it's an extreme example, but it's almost the same point, right? When you cut away the substance, right?
Yeah. So it's really just changing your habits, because that's all we want to do with nutrition, put in better habits. And this is not a great habit, and we need to change as to why you're.
But is it really that extremely different? Like food can kill you too if you overdo it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It can kill you.
So I don't know how extremely different that might be.
But I think for some people, it's just a matter of decreasing the amount of whatever it is you're taking in that's bad. Again, if it's alcohol or if it's every day at my afternoon break, I have a freaking soda and a Snickers bar. Like, just cutting back on that stuff and you'll see some changes. And then pretty soon you're not going to want it at all. Like, wow, you know what? Now every afternoon when I have my 15-minute break, I go for a walk. I don't eat any, I don't go to the vending. I'm saving money. I'm not going to the vending machine.
Your flavor palette changes.
Yeah.
Like one of our clients that we had at one point used to live off of pizza, right? He enjoyed it. But after he changed his quality of food and ate more high quality ingredients, and got away from that type of foods, pizza being one, he would later on in his journey when he was very successful with it, he would tempt himself and he would have a pizza for a cheat meal, and then he realized how much his flavor palette changed and he didn't enjoy it. It tasted like cardboard to him.
Yeah, you have to have a good pizza and make it worth it.
So that's awesome to see and watch change and unfold.
I remember that conversation you and Brian had about if you're going to cheat, you're going to have pizza. Have a good pizza.
Oh yeah.
Supposed to go
the point?
It's a cheat meal.
It's supposed to go into like Domino's or Pizza Hut or Blackjack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Abos maybe would be.
Abos.
Sorry. Abos. Boss Lady Pizza. Protos Pizza is pretty good.
Who's?
Protos.
Protos is
They're
good.
up in North Boulder.
Yeah.
Backcountry. Have you ever been to Backcountry?
Oh, I have been. Okay.
That's good pizza.
We used to. I have good memories. So that would be another thing too. When I go to backcountry, I would want to have as much pizza as possible because we used to do that as team. We did team dinners there for a long time. Like after every big meet we had, we would all get together and we would eat fucking pizza and wings, and we would eat as much as we could.
They've got the biggest beer list ever.
We had a challenge to see who could eat the most pizza one night, and I think our winner had 32 slices or something like that. It was serious. They're weightlifters though, so like, but still that goes back to the thing where we're like good friends, good times, and then you associate the food with that. So if you go and you get pizza, if you're feeling sad, it's going to help you experience the same thing or close to it, I guess.
Get all melancholy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. So Amy just messaged me.
Yes.
I want to read this because this is pretty cool.
Okay.
She goes, an amazing thing happened today. I took Ash to get a donut after preschool, and I didn't get one for myself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's a big donut fan.
Yeah,
good for
she's
her.
like sugar. So that's awesome to hear. Good job, Amy.
Good job, Amy.
If you listen to this, fuck yeah, good job. So proud of you.
Yep.
See, that's the kind of help we give you.
Yeah,
when
right.
You have those little successes. You can let us know, and we'll get on a live podcast and cheer you on.
That's awesome.
Sweet. You got anything else you want to add to the podcast? I think we've covered binge eating from front to back.
The stressors, emotional effects. We compared it to alcohol. We talked about alcohol.
Getting support.
We touched on a little bit about heroin.
Which I'm pretty sure is on the front of your mind because you watched The Dirt last week.
The Dirt. I love The Dirt.
And Nikki Sixx died. Oh, he
died for 2 minutes.
Died for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That made me think of there's a documentary on, we're off topic now, but there's a documentary on Netflix called Heroin. And it follows, it's like HER with the parentheses and then ON at the end of it. So it's highlighting female service members and like first responders and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's on the East Coast, and I can't remember what city it is, but they have like the highest rate of heroin overdoses in the country, and that's what the number one death is in their county. But they have this pack that it's like an injection that they carry with them on all ambulances now. And somebody that's overdosing from heroin or is about to die, they stab them in the leg with it like an EpiPen, and then it causes all of the chemicals in the brain to unhook from the receptor sites. It's really funny to watch somebody like almost die, and then they go and they sit up and they try and fight the first responders. Seen that
in the movies.
Wow, yeah. I might have to watch this.
You should watch it. It's crazy because they had like a couple guys in there that were really close to death, and they injected them, and also they go, woo, and they sit up, and you're like, oh, they're almost dead.
Oh, that's cool.
Crazy.
You see the difference between our personalities? You say that's crazy, and I say that's cool.
It is because he's almost dead.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, It's kind of like when somebody gets stabbed with the adrenaline needle and they, yeah. All right. Anyway,
Hasn't happened.
Got
That
a
is
fucking
the-
dart in your neck, man.
what? I haven't seen Old School in forever. Oh.
Aw.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm like, I don't get these references.
That's the. You
Oh,
have
you
to watch
don't?
it.
no, you said old school, and I'm
You're
like,
my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue. Ah, you're Roseanne.
And then
I
he sings
know.
Dust in the Wind at
Just-
the funeral.
just older than you. I mean, my
What are you
son-
talking about?
Son
That's a
and my
classic.
grandson.
It's a classic.
That came out when I was in
know.
like middle school. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that is.
You were, yeah.
I was
That's
in high
true.
school.
I
in high
know,
school.
but I mean, that's what I feel
Um,
like. It's like you've seen it sooner.
You're
than
gonna
I
hang
have.
out with us more often, so you get the references. You don't do that.
I feel like I hang out with you guys all the fucking time.
Maybe we should make you a list. So when you're not with us, that's
you can
what you're
watch the
doing.
movies.
You and your husband. I think
We'll
your
cover,
husband would enjoy.
We'll cover like all of the Adam Sandler movies. We'll get Will Ferrell's movies in there.
Yeah. We got to do Office Space. When was the last time
Yeah,
we saw
we gotta do
Office?
Oh,
Space.
I just watched Office Space
Good.
over Christmas break.
Okay.
Speaking of which, we
Yes.
got that printer. We have to Office Space the printer.
We want to chuck it off the roof.
Yeah,
I got all the music queued up for it. Some good old ghetto boys.
That's awesome.
we're all gonna dress up. We're gonna film it.
Yeah, suit and
It's gonna be a
ties.
great.
Chef
It's gonna be a great
Theme
piece
Week.
of content. Okay, that's the end of the podcast. We've kind of gone off the rails completely. If they want to find
Actually,
you guys
we did pretty good staying on
and
task
they
today.
want any more information on the nutrition program here at Ideal Collaborative, what do they do and how do they find you?
Go to the main website at idealcollaborative.com and click on our nutrition. You can sign up for initial consultation to see what kind of packages we have that we can help and support you with your nutrition journey,
Mhm.
get you on track. Josh and I are here to help do that
Always.
always.
Cool.
What
What are your Instagram handles?
else? Ars Mario. What is it? Shit.
13.
Ars Mario 13.
Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
How many weeks have we been
Why
doing
do
this?
We've been doing this
not
for about
ever
over a
remember
month
this?
now.
Yeah.
I
Um,
should,
and-
I should post more.
You're on Facebook, and what's your email?
Roseanne,
Okay.
ROSANNE at bodyfattest.com.
And
You can
You-
find me on Instagram. Have two accounts. Sharpie with an IE _546 is my personal one, but I still keep it open for everybody. And then coach.j.sharp on my coach's page where I have mostly fitness and nutrition. And then Facebook, you can find me, Joshua Sharp.
Jeez, like I feel like I should have done more.
Yeah. And then my email.
Lost your chance.
You can always email me at josh@cutthroatcrossfit.com if you have any questions. And then same thing, you can find me on the same website as Roseanne
All the
stated.
single ladies reach out
Oh my
to
God,
Josh
Jesus
and
Christ.
Jake.
I am on Instagram. I only have one account. I got rid of my other one because I didn't post anything on it. It was kind of a waste.
Which one did you get rid of?
The Coach Jake one. So, well, it was just Coach Jake. Now I'm at Coach Jake Sterney, and that's my main Instagram. Everything goes on
only.
there. The only Instagram.
Is it verified?
It is not verified yet.
So nobody
Hopefully-
steals it?
Actually, if I ever get to that point and I'm like so far in social media, I don't feel like I want that. That's all right. It'd be kind of anyway. So at Coach Jake Sterney on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at Valhalla Weightlifting Coach, I think is what it is. I don't even know. And then Facebook, and you can email me as well at jake@valhalla-barbell.com. Thank you guys for listening and viewing the
yeah,
first
hey.
ever live broadcast.
Hey,
of
how
the
many
Off Moving On podcast.
viewers did we get
We
up
had
to?
one, or we had two for about 2 minutes.
Oh, man.
So these guys they'll probably go back and watch it later.
That's cool.
I expect it to blow up. We're going to be famous after this. So
So is
All the
this...
single ladies contact me and I'll put you through the interview process for these
who
boys.
sings that song, Roseanne?
All the single ladies. Beyonce.
Yeah.
Is this...
Except I'm only thinking of the Justin Timberlake SNL video. Or
Is this
Oh,
going to
yeah.
go on other platforms too?
Yeah, we're going to share this. We'll email it to people. We'll do
So like on Anchor and iTunes and
It's going to be so if you guys are watching and you haven't found the podcast yet, go ahead and go to Anchor, or we're available where all major podcasts are found on Stitcher, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I don't think SoundCloud's an option, but maybe it is. There's just a bunch of so basically anywhere podcasts are, if you search for the OHH podcast or the Optimal Human Health podcast, you will find us on there.
Oh.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna end the stream now.
Bum,
Okay.
bum.
And